5th, 2023 kill count. Let's get into it. Dead meat.
Welcome to the Kill Count, where we tally up the victims in all our favorite horror movies. I'm James A. Janice, and today we're looking at Scream 6, released in 2023.
Yo, Jonathan,
Scream
you in
6
here?
takes
This video's
Ghostface
for you,
to
bro.
uncharted territory, the streets
For me
of
too,
New
bro.
York City. We follow our survivors from the previous film as they navigate
watched this movie?
college, young love, and of course, another
a spoiler.
Ghostface. Scream has long been the rare horror franchise that relies on continuity of its protagonists rather than its villains. Scream 6 continues that trend with the new characters, who were enjoyable in Scream 5, but didn't always have a whole lot to do. It helps that returning
Is this the one with
screenwriters
Jenna-
James
yeah, it is,
Vanderbilt
it
and
is.
Guy
Jenna
Busey
Ortega.
were able to
Is
better
it- yeah,
tailor
right
the
here, right
characters
there.
to their actors
Yo,
based on their previous performances.
What's the name of that show? Wednesday? That show was fire. Whatever
The new crew is also able to make a
watched
name
the
for
whole thing.
themselves, since there's a lessened focus on Scream's legacy characters. Gail Weathers is still running around, but Dewey's not, for obvious reasons, and for unfortunate reasons, Sydney ain't here either. Without those three taking up significant screen time, the core four of Woodsboro really gets a chance to shine. The new location and focus on new characters are accompanied by a tonal shift as well. Returning directors Matt Bettinelli-Open and Tyler Gillette of Radio Silence said they wanted to make Scream 6 a secret action movie. They heard the complaints about there not being any chase scenes in Scream 5, so they delivered a heap of them here, all choreographed spectacularly and full of suspense. You can really feel the influence of other horror action sequels
Where's
like
she running
Aliens
to?
and the urban set Predator 2. Despite Scream 6 being the most unique film of the series, it still maintains the franchise's self-awareness
She's about
we
to
know
get
and
killed.
love. It echoes Scream 2 in a lot of ways, appropriate
Imagine just
since
chilling,
Scream
bro.
5
Imagine
often
I'm just streaming, bro. I don't see what's behind me. Nigga, just. How would y'all react, bro?
rehashed the first film
Y'all gonna
and
post me on
features more
TikTok?
continuity
RIP
check
AAlvinoo.
marks for the series than ever
Would y'all
before,
post a
with
clip on
multiple
Lively
detailed
or
walks
Twitter?
down memory lane. As with Scream 5, I can't be objective about this movie since it was made by my friends. Hell, Chelsea and I even have a special thanks in the credits. But I
Damn, that's
honestly
crazy.
believe Scream 6 continues
fire,
the
bro.
trend of there being no such thing as a bad Scream film. Will Ghostface... Trouble!
Ghostface killer.
Oh no! Editor Sarah!
You didn't see nothing.
Fiona? Wow, the Ghostface costume really adds a few inches.
Oh man, how'd you know it was me?
Dude, I can smell you. You've been rocking the same
That
fragrance
dude has
since
a
you started
beard, bro.
here.
That is not a woman.
Damn it. The bottle's just so big it takes forever to get through.
I've been there, but what you need is today's sponsor, Scentbird. Fragrance. You should probably.
Scentbird for them off for your first miles.
Doctor Strange.
The movie begins, as always, with a phone call, but this
Doctor
time
Strange
it's at a
Back to
trendy
Life
New York
3 hours
restaurant. College
before
professor
the
Laura
event.
Crane is waiting for a date here at Maybe
Unavailable.
Dorsia. She's played by Samara Weaving,
Get to the
a
good
four-time
part.
kill count vet, who previously
Don't tell
worked
me
with
get to the
Radio
good part.
Silence
You
on
gotta
Ready or
watch the whole
Not.
video to
I
enjoy
loved
it.
seeing her cast in a Scream movie, then got so sad when I realized it was for the opening scene. Laura teaches a class about slashers and is immediately endearing as a self-aware film nerd.
But out of those cliches comes an opportunity for outsider art. A voice for the voiceless, you might say.
It's also great that Weaving gets to speak in her native Australian accent here. I don't hear that from her a lot. Her date Reggie babbles on,
This is
claiming
not
to be
Barbie, bro.
lost,
You
so
got
she walks
your,
outside to give
people
him directions.
mixed up.
Ironic,
Barbie
since
is
Reggie's
Margot
picture is one
Robbie.
of the men directing her, Matt
This
Bettinelli
person?
Open. The
I don't know who this
increasingly
person is.
suspicious date lures her towards an alleyway, looking for the restaurant by color.
I'm not seeing anything red here.
You sure, dude? Because Scarlett's standing right there. With a click of a voice changer, Roger L. Jackson returns to growl again.
The worst part is, you teach a class
That's not
about
Barbie. Come on,
slashers,
I watched the Barbie
and you
movie.
still walked into a dark alley.
Just
Why
like her
does she-
psycho namesake,
that's what I'm saying,
Laura
bro.
Crane
She
is
should
given
run
an
the other
early
way.
out when Ghostface leaps out to gut her like a catfish. It's a seriously brutal stabbing, helped along by Weaving's always impressive
dead, bro.
banshee scream. Ghostface ends the kill with a quip
Now I see something red.
and ushers in a title car. Wait, what?
Damn.
Hold up, the movie's still going. Are we supposed to be seeing this? Yo, what? I don't think
Damn.
we're supposed to be seeing this.
Yo.
In an awesome twist on the formula, we see Ghostface's identity right away as he packs up his suit like a Spider-Man.
That's
Or like he's his
crazy.
hero, Spider-Man. This is Jason Carvey,
He's not
one
an
of Laura's
Apex
film
legend.
students and a classmate of Tara's at the fictional Blackmore University.
Yo.
Tara's costume here is a reference to Radio
just-
Silence's segment in VHS.
You just
Her
killed her
pirate
for
is
what
paired
reason,
with a
bro?
nanny cam and
That
a
blood is-
marine, just
isn't
like
even
their
that red.
costumes in that delightful short.
You do.
Jason Jason is a horror film bro, rocking a shirt with a Mario Bava title on it and
listen,
living in
I'm
a
not gonna lie,
dope
bro, I'm not gonna
apartment
get
decked out
killed
with
by
everything
someone
from
like this,
Hitchcock
bro.
to Ice Nine Kills. He
You're
keeps a
gonna have to,
closet
bro.
shrine devoted to his favorite
I'm-
series
give
Stab,
him
which
1-2,
is
bro.
probably
Give him a-
why he took pleasure killing his film professor.
What's your favorite scary movie?
But good board, though.
Not
hit him
that
with
one.
Jason watches
got
his
no muscles?
namesake take Manhattan.
You don't got no
and checks
hands,
in with
boy?
Greg, his partner in crime,
all he got
and
is a knife,
also
bro.
possibly
He's not- he
in
doesn't look
romance.
fast.
The two of them plan on killing the Carpenter sisters in honor of Richie Kirsch, who helped mastermind the last movie's massacre. For practice, Jason killed Laura ahead of schedule, but for some reason, Greg doesn't seem to mind.
I'm
Bro.
not mad, Jason.
Dude,
He doesn't even have like
we said we wouldn't
no
use
remorse.
the voice on each other.
Probably because this
No
isn't
remorse,
Greg at
bro.
all, since Jason finds Greg pulling a Mrs. Voorhees all dismembered in the fridge. It's a big boost in gore for the franchise. Jason follows in his dead friend's footsteps
Damn.
and gets Grey done in by a backstab, followed by
Got
more
killed.
than 10 stabs to the stomach that
That's
leave his guts
crazy,
hanging
bro.
out. Holy shit. The movie's actual Ghostface doesn't care about horror movies, but is still courteous enough to deliver us a title card. There
him
it
the
is.
same way.
It's Hollow Weekend in the Big Apple.
kills
Sam's
off rip,
spending
bro.
it with Dr. Stone, the world's worst therapist. He's played by Henry Czerny, another Ready or Not alum. Despite seeing him for a year, Sam only reveals her bonkers backstory now with a recap of the previous film.
They
I
still
stabbed him
blind.
23 times and
You
slit
want
his
him to
throat.
get back
The
on
reveal
YouTube.
of this
Loki
violence
kinda
rocks
obviously
Stone to
gonna
the
die, they
core,
showed
with
his face
Sam
like that.
seeming to
Loki,
relish
I
the
didn't even think about
revenge.
that.
It felt right.
The doc declares
Right
her
to do
case
what?
mission impossible, saying she's a clear and present danger to herself and others. Sam returns home to her wall of locks, having learned a lesson in safety just like Scream 3's Sidney Prescott. Sidney Presslocks! She inadvertently interrupts her roommate Quinn in the middle of her latest lovemaking.
Is that Paul?
Tara also lives here,
Damn.
but right now she's out monster mashing at a frat party. It's actually a Greek life mixer between Omega Beta Zeta and Omega Kappa Beta, which were Cece's sorority and Derek's fraternity in Scream 2. A party scene's the perfect place to meet a new
Frat
friend.
parties.
So here's Mindy's new girlfriend
There are not
Annika
colored-
and
there
Jaz's
are
new
no colored
roommate
people in
Ethan.
frat
Tara
parties.
makes a new friend too.
I'm Frankie.
Frankie say relax
Bro, when I
with
first
it,
went to
but-
university, bro, the frats, dog, one of my friends is in a frat, bro. So the things they gotta do is insane. It feels like a cult, bro. They were trying to initiate, like, they were trying to, like, recruit people. One of my friends went, you gotta pay, like, a fee. You gotta, like, why would I, like, it's insane. They got a book, bro. It was, bro.
There's in
we
his
be
room,
trolling
but
him,
before
bro.
a
They
tipsy
called the
Tara
frat
can show
Bible.
him her Sunday undies, Chad intervenes on her behalf. The situation escalates and Sam shows up out of nowhere, then shuts it down by tasing Frankie's further.
Damn.
Tara is pissed at Sam for always being so overprotective.
You're out of my life for 5 years, and then you can't leave me alone for 5 minutes.
What
She
did
doesn't
you
want to
say?
let the
Omega
last
Beta
movie's
Zeta
events
and
define
Omega
her for the
Kappa
rest of
Beta.
her life.
I'm gonna
That's what
keep
I
going
said.
to college, I'm gonna get my degree, and I'm gonna live my life.
Damn, she was about to
My
get
life.
raped.
Unfortunately for Sam,
You're
she's
trying to
not
help her.
given a choice in that matter, as illustrated by a drive-by soda soaking.
Damn.
Murderer!
Sam's status as a junior Loomis has made her the target of online rumors. They accuse
What
her of
happened?
being the real Woodsboro murderer, like her dad was, and framing
Damn.
Richie and Amber. Fucking Reddit. Back at the apartment, Sam's all
Damn.
broody until she sees her booty call Danny Brackett, named after the Halloween character Annie Brackett. Danny lives in an apartment across the way from Sam's and has been her hush-hush hookup for a while. Better that than a relationship that hasn't even started yet.
Damn.
Looking at you, Chad and Tara, in this romance I did not predict. Their first pass gets cocked up with a cock block by Quinn, the cock-positive
That's so
cock
tough.
whisperer.
Stop saying the word cock.
Oh,
So
sorry.
tough.
Chad leaves, but don't worry, man. Tara gonna get you. Everyone gathers for a cast meeting since news just broke about the murders from the opening. Tara doesn't think it has anything to do with them, which is, you know, a bit too optimistic. Especially since they get a call from the ghost face with the most bass.
Hello, Samantha.
Ghostface
Damn.
says Jason and Greg had to die to clear the way for something more personal.
I'm going to show the world who you really are. A liar and a killer. I'm going to punish you, Sam.
He tries to cut
Yo.
in early, but he's
Oh, no.
defeated once again by a dastardly bicycle, the one true weakness of ghost faces. The sisters run inside a
I don't know
bodega
what to
that a
say,
later
though.
shot shows is called
First
a
of all,
snake. It's
that
a
boy
reference
got-
to Wes Craven's
boy
Superman
got
when he
stopped by
directed
an
adult
elbow,
films
bro.
in the 1970s.
That's
The idea
insane.
came from Ice Nine Kills' Spencer Charnas, who met Radio Silence at our wedding. Ghostface follows the Carpenters inside, where a customer says, "You mess with one of us, you mess with all of us." Ghostface
stabbed.
aerates the guy right in the middle of the store, then murders a bald bodega boy who tries to butt in. A boomstick
that-
sends Ghostface in retreat.
How did he not-
Shop
oh, he-
smart.
he didn't get
Shop
hit by it. Why didn't they
Ape
just
snake.
jump him?
The
I'm
owner
saying,
tries
bro,
to
they
toss
coulda-
Tara
they
keys,
coulda
but
killed
he's
him right
ambushed
there,
by
bro.
Ghostface, who steals his shotgun and finishes him off as he cries
Damn.
for help.
Wait. No.
I mean, Ghostface never
Damn,
dies
that's
in all the
cold.
movies.
The
So.
bodega attack occurs early in the film to establish a new tone
The
for a
Scream
new
movies
city.
I watch,
While
he
previous
always
Screams
never
had
dies.
attacks in isolated
He
houses,
gets shot,
Scream
he's
6
gonna come
brings
back,
the
bro.
danger to public spaces, where even crowds of people can't save
That's
you. The shift in
insane,
tone
bro.
matches a shift in camera lenses,
But
courtesy of
I'm
returning director
saying,
of
bro.
photography Brett Juckowitz. While
He
every other
ran away from
Scream
a
was shot on
shotgun
anamorphic
shells,
lenses,
bro.
Juckowitz shot Scream 6 on spherical lenses for a more gritty, realistic look. We get an excellent suspense sequence with some great suit performing from Ghostface here. The subtle movements really add to the tension. Tara and Sam are forced to crawl their way to the front of the store, where they beat the Ghostess with Hostess by burying him beneath a snack rack. They escape right as the cops arrive, but Ghostface disappears.
You see, he always disappears,
behind.
bro.
The sisters are
always
questioned by
disappears.
Detective Bailey, who's actually the father of their roommate Quinn. He's a helicopter dad who transferred to the NYPD to watch over Quinn after the death of her brother. He says they found a Ghostface mask at Jason and Greg's apartment with DNA belonging to Richie Kirsch, one of the killers from Scream 5. It's a different mask than
That's
the one
crazy.
left at the bodega just now. That one has DNA traces of Charlie Walker and Jill Roberts, the Ghostface killers from Scream 4. Speaking of Scream 4, the FBI agent here to help is none other than Kirby Reed. Fuck yeah! Kirby survived her Scream 4 stabbing, as revealed
Damn.
in a Scream 5 Easter egg, and now she's here in the flesh to help her fellow Scream queens.
We share a certain history.
Hayden
It's been a minute
Panettiere
since I
said
watched
she was
Disney. I
nervous
forgot how
returning to the
entertaining it was.
role
Yeah, it's
since she
fire.
was coming back from
Bro,
a
damn,
4-year break
Ghostface
from
is-
acting.
so wait,
it
there's
did great,
more than
hey
one
hey.
Ghostface.
Since she's technically a suspect, this Carpenter can't escape from New York, so she's stuck dealing with the police and media, including Gale Weathers wearing yet another prismatic pantsuit. Despite their bonding in the previous film, Gale is once again on the outs with our main characters.
Damn,
Nice try,
she
sweetie.
slipped that.
But I've done this dance before.
Damn.
Nice try, sweetie, but I've done this dance before. Bam! Bitch
type
went
of movie
down.
is this? Plus,
Tara, super
that don't
bitch. Nice
really
try,
hit,
sweetie,
man.
but I've done this dance before. Bam! Bitch went down.
Really, that don't
Tara,
really hit.
super bitch. Gail's getting her Scream 1 and also
Damn.
Scream 2 treatment here because it
Damn.
turns out she reverted to
getting
her
hit.
dirt now writing habits with a book about Sam and her slasher daddy.
You called me unstable and a born killer.
Damn it, Gail, what happened to the Dewey book you promised? Where's the Dewey book, Gail? Gail takes a beat to
I would've
address
hit- I would've
Sidney
hit her on
Prescott's
1-2.
absence.
She sends her love, but she's taking Mark and the kids someplace safe. She deserves to have her happy ending.
This is the first Scream film without Sidney, a result of Neve Campbell's frustration about being underpaid for her role in the
Salary
franchise.
dispute.
I should stress that contract negotiations happen on the studio level and aren't made by the filmmakers, so don't blame radio silence. It's a bummer to not have Sid around, especially given the reason why. But even though she's my favorite final girl of all time, I also
the
think
same
it's
person?
great that our new
not gonna lie, I wanna
protagonists
watch
get
Scream
more
now.
space to inherit
Bro,
the series.
dude, I don't
Has-
want to.
kind
Like,
of
he
had the
never
same-
dies, bro.
The same vibe.
He
It was
literally
like,
never
let's just
dies.
go make this one ours.
Dr. Stone settles in for a double feature of the OG invasion of the Body Snatchers and a couple of his favorite kill counts. Though he didn't
Yo,
return to Scream
that is
the invasion of the Body
fire.
Snatchers and a couple of
Yo, imagine me in a movie, bro.
his favorite kill
That's
counts.
fire.
Though he didn't return to Scream 6 for another cameo, Radio Silence asked us for props they could use as set deck. So we sent them this awesome VHS box made by talented fan Wedgewolf of Dark
That's
Moon
fire.
Home Video. Radio Silence did the same thing with other podcasts too. Posters can be seen for Last Podcast on the Left and our dear friends at We Hate Movies, including one in Tara's room, meaning she may have listened to us riff on Leprechauns 1 and 2 with the guys. There's an ominous
That's
rapping
fire.
at Stone's door, which sends his TV into a fourth wall breaking frenzy. Turns out he is next, since Ghostface breaks his window to smash his
God.
noggin before finishing the doctor off with a sharp
my
object through the
God.
nose. God, this Ghostface is mean.
Yo,
Another mask is left by his
Ghostface is
body, this
tweaking,
one
bro.
belonging to the killer from Scream 3, Roman Bridger, director.
I direct.
The detectives consult their Ghostface conspiracy board in a scene filled with tons of fun nods for fans of the franchise.
Roman Bridger was the only single ghost face. Kudos to him for ambition.
As Red Right Hand plays on the
is
soundtrack,
Ghostface?
Mindy
I
gathers
have no
everyone
idea
on
what he kills
campus
for, bro.
to give a classic Meeks monologue for the people.
Yo, how are they
Blackmore
so going, bro?
University
I
is
would be
played by
outta here
McGill
out in
University
Africa
in
by now, bro.
Montreal, which is where the film was shot. Though it's
Montreal?
set at University is played by McGill University in Montreal, which is where
That's
the
fire.
film was shot. Though it's set in New York, Scream
was supposed
6
to
is
go to Montreal
actually
with my
the
friends.
first film in the franchise to be
But-
filmed outside the US. Since they are on
fell
a
through.
college campus, the group theorizes they're in a rehash of Scream 2, or sorry, Stab 2 for these folk. But Mindy has a different theory.
It would make sense if this were just a sequel. But we're not in a sequel. Because nobody just makes sequels anymore. We're in a franchise!
Why does it sound
As
like
she
that?
explains, there are certain rules to a
Probably
movie
'cause he's not trying to
franchise. The
get
kills will be bigger and
taken
bloodier,
down.
the killers will be shiny and new, and the
Then
main
the Ghostface
characters
in
might get
that
killed,
first movie
which
killed too.
they
They all
already
die, like, at
warned
the
was
end,
an
right?
aspect of
I think so,
reboot
but in the
Scream
movie, they
5
never die,
and
bro.
an aspect of trilogy
Get like
endings
three
in Scream 3.
shots to the
But
stomach,
it
bro,
also
never
is
die.
the case here as well. It only took Jasmine Savoy Brown a day or two to memorize this many-page monologue, something she credits to her roots as a theater kid.
In this movie and the last one, everyone's just gathered around as I'm performing at them all day. And that's fun.
They decide that there's safety in numbers, so everyone holes up in the Carpenter apartment. While in the very
They
blurry
about to
background, you can
get
see our
spawn
horror
camp,
short
bro.
pregame playing on the TV. Like, no shit, that's Chelsea back there. So cool.
Yo,
Also cool
that's
is the
actually fire.
fact that we get to just hang out with these characters for a minute.
Little slumber party with the core
Bro, I'll be
four.
out of here.
Or 4?
Yeah.
Did you just give us a nickname?
For me, this scene was when the
Someone's
new
dying,
cast
bro. That black
officially
guy's
took
dying.
over the franchise, and I mean that as the highest compliment.
That
The
black
mood
guy's
is
gonna die,
soured
bro. I
by a
can already
news
tell.
broadcast implicating Sam in the recent attacks. This conflict was meant to reflect a real-life struggle for Melissa Barrera, who suffered a lot of online harassment criticizing her acting in the previous film.
It just sucks being this hated.
Radio silence confirmed that this scene is a response to that situation,
I'm
which
joking.
makes it even
I'm
more
joking.
touching when her
Get my
Woodsboro
phone restored.
buds
Sorry,
say they
fellas.
have
Inside,
her
inside.
back.
We
Shut the
are
numbers in my artillery. I'll be good.
Thank you very
That boy
much.
got a
I
Nerf gun.
hate
I'm
you.
straight, bro.
Said it.
About
For
to
the
shoot his
record,
Nerf
I
gun.
thought Barrera-
That boy about to shoot his Nerf gun. Ghostface gonna be like,
Did fine in Scream 5.
Switch user Simply Just A has just been discovered brutally murdered in his room.
And fucking crushes it in Scream 6. I think even her online haters came around to her performance here.
Melissa came to this one to prove something, and I think we all felt it from day one.
fire.
Drunk on friendship, Sam reveals that she's
So
been
this acts
sleeping
someone
with
I know.
Danny, who's currently doing laundry when he spots a ghost face in Quinn's rear window. He tries to warn the Woodsboro crew, but they're too busy yucking it up until Quinn stumbles out of her bedroom
That
with
is
her throat slit to
insane.
the bone. I guess the core four will
That
never
is
become
insane.
a quintet. In the ensuing chaos, Tara and Chad lead the
Yo.
escape, but get locked
I
outside
need
the
someone-
apartment
how does-
before
how
their
did-
friends can follow.
how does he
Mindy
even
takes
get in-
a slice to the
Oh my
arm,
God,
but it's
how does he
Annika
get
who
in-
really gets the twist of the knife. Sam makes like
My
Casey
stomach!
Becker and goes for the
My
couple.
stomach! My stomach! My stomach! My stomach! I feel it! I feel it! My stomach! I feel it in my stomach! I feel it in my stomach! Yo! First things first. How did Ghostface? I really Ghostface should see my Ghostface. I'm a ninja. Yo, how did Ghostface get in there? Yo.
To the arm, but it's Annika who really gets the twist of the knife.
She's
Sam makes
dead.
like Casey Becker and goes for the cutlery, but since someone has gotten rid of the knives, she settles for an attack of the block. They escape to
She's
Quinn's
fighting
bedroom,
back.
where Mindy finds her sloppy seconds in the bathtub.
Oh my god.
The ladies barricade
Bro, that
themselves
stomach shit was
inside,
mad,
but
bro.
Sam discovers their
It's
only way
crazy.
out is dangerously in the heights. Danny closes the gap with a ladder, kicking
Yo.
off another awesome action sequence as the women take turns shimmying across. Sam and Mindy manage to make it, but Ghostface interrupts Annika before she can
Oh my
cross.
God, she
Despite
was
their
dead
best
regardless,
efforts,
bro.
they're unable to save her
She was
before she
dead
takes a
regardless.
utopia fall to her death. Talk about a dumpster
Oh my
dive,
God.
right? Real
She
talk
was
though,
dead
she was
regardless, bro.
fucked anyway. We all
That's
saw
what I was saying.
Ghostface literally gut her like a fish.
Oh my
Despite being
God.
present in the very first draft,
It's one
the
of them,
ladder
I'm
sequence
thinking
was
so, it's
initially
probably
cut
already in.
over concerns it'd be too
Where's the
hard
black
to film.
guy?
They added it back in 2 weeks before production began because it was just that cool.
Let's stop chasing our tails and let's go shoot the fucking ladder. And, you know, once we did that whole thing
Where's the black guy?
and got
Is
there,
it
we
the
were like,
black guy?
right, this is dope for a reason.
Or is he already
Executive
dead?
producer Ron Lynch helped find a real location that fit the needs of the script, which means those are actual stunt people actually crawling across an actual
That's
ladder
fire.
5 stories up. Stunt coordinator Alex Cadu kept everyone safe during the crazy sequence. Devin Dakota was eager to do the stunt herself, but had to defer to her stunt double, Leiko Farahi.
I love doing my own stunts. And I was like, no, put me
thinks
on the
she-
harness.
she thinks she's Jackie
They said absolutely not. If something goes wrong, like, what are you gonna do?
So
I'm
if
like,
something goes
okay.
wrong, what could possibly go wrong? So they want the stunt double to die,
There.
huh?
For the
That's what they're
close-up
pretty much
shots
saying.
of the
The
actors,
stunt
an
double
exact
is
replica of the
dispensable.
building was built on a soundstage. And I mean exact. Production designer Michel Laliberté even matched the plaster of the bricks to the building's real exterior. Dakota got to fall about 10 feet onto a crash
Where did
pad
black guy,
scene,
though?
getting
So it might
pretty
be the black
bruised
guy.
up over the 2 weeks it took to shoot the sequence. I love that they didn't use a single green screen for this whole thing. The only digital effects were painting out the safety harness cables. The survivors recover from the attacks as Ethan arrives with a perfectly suspicious entrance.
Step the fuck back. You're at the top of my list.
I had econ.
The Carpenter
So they go
sisters
back
meet
them.
up with Detective
Back your ass up, boy. If you don't want that 9 in your face, boy, back your ass up before I blast you, fool.
Bailey,
Fuck,
who's been
blast
taken
you,
off
son.
the case in light of his daughter's death. With his career
Damn.
opportunities limited and both his kids dead now, he pledges to go rogue and track the killer down.
You fuck with my family,
You die.
They're soon joined by Gal and
Next second, nigga gets throat cut. If something went wrong, she wouldn't have been in the rest of the movie anyway. She has to do it, and like if they didn't want anything to go wrong, go wrong, just secure it. Come on. That's actually facts. She wouldn't have been in the movie anyway.
Kirby, who have a suitably prickly reunion.
When did they start letting children into the FBI?
I have a gun, Gail.
Gal's discovered something during her journalistic endeavors, an abandoned theater owned by Jason and Greg. This place is a straight-up stab cave, filled with way too many Easter eggs to cover in this kill count. Behind-the-scenes footage shows a lot more of the details. They filled this place
Bro,
up like Fiona and I
didn't see
decorating
the
a
black
kill
dude.
count set. Some deep
I'm
cuts
saying it's a
include the
black dude.
Green Stab 3 mask from Scream 3, and a clapperboard suggesting Roman Bridger worked with Scream 5 and 6's DP, Brett Jukowitz. In-universe, this isn't just a shrine to the Stab franchise, but to all the murders that have taken place throughout the Scream series. Seriously, this place has everything.
TV that killed Stumacher.
If you believe he's dead.
Oh, don't even get me started on that one, Mindy. He's listed as dead on the police board in this film. There's no way he's been alive this whole time without anyone knowing about it. This theater was originally a warehouse, but was changed at the suggestion of La Liberté,
which Gillette cites as an example of the film's collaborative set.
You just have to constantly remind yourself that
They be going hard
the
on
movie
these
doesn't
movies,
belong
bro.
to
Deadass.
anybody. It belongs to everybody, and that's how you make the best
They be
thing.
going crazy
You
in
invite other opinions,
movies,
you
bro.
invite collaboration into the process from day one.
La Liberté included more Scream Easter eggs throughout the
More
movie,
than
like
met-
blue solo
more
cups
meta
at the
than
frat
meta.
party to match
Are these
the
like
ones in
behind the scenes
Stumacher's
tweets?
kitchen, and giving Ethan a bag of Cheetos solo cups at the frat party to match the
You're
ones
not
in
like. I don't understand how the other Scream movies went.
Stumacher's kitchen, and giving Ethan a bag of Cheetos later on as a nod to Kenny the cameraman. They realized the ghost face masks left at the various crime scenes came from this centerpiece display of all the franchise's previous villains. Costume designer Avery Pluis designed the different looks of the masks and robes, cross-referencing her research with costumers on Etsy, since she knew they'd have paid attention to the details. One robe in particular stirs up memories for Sam.
Fuck no.
Fuck yes.
Skeet Ulrich returns as Ghost Daddy Billy Loomis, and he wants his daughter to go nuts for a second season
That's
of murder.
crazy.
Tara's less excited to be back in the action, so Kirby chats with her about her near-death
They quite
experience
literally
in
look the
Scream
same.
4.
I'm saying,
I
bro.
almost died after
Ain't
I
nobody
was
looking at the
stabbed.
details.
I know, I counted you in my original episode. Don't worry though, fixed it in the recap.
Technically, I did die.
What?
For 4 minutes.
Oh, come on! Gail also attempts to be a person by talking to Sam about her relationship
why are they
with
still in
Dewey,
the
but
city
the
on
bonding
Hulu?
is cut
That's my
short by
question, bro.
Bailey, who sends Gail home so they can do some ghost busting. With Sam and Tara acting as bait,
Oh, the
the
big
cops
gun
hope to
was
trace
Africa,
their next
back to
killer
Africa,
phone
bro.
call from a van in broad daylight. Yeah, this whole thing reeks of dead meeks. All it's
Oh my
missing is the
God.
B-boys blaring Cottonmouth Kings. But they don't need to worry, because when they do trace the call, they realize it's coming from Gal's apartment on the other side of the city. One record-setting sunset later, Gal is hanging out at home with her new boyfriend. She gets a homicidal house call, which is actually a first for the franchise.
Strange that you and I have never spoken on the phone.
Gal doesn't notice when her newy Dewey gets grabbed in the background.
God.
She does notice when he's
So
heave-hoed
who-
through a bookcase
so
like
who's
you
she
were
talking
Sally
to?
Hardesty.
Also,
His
how
killer
strong is
Ghostface gives
Ghostface?
us our
Ghostface,
first
bro.
knife wipe of the film. Scream 6's Ghostface is a lot less clumsy than usual, thanks to superformer Max Leferrier, who also played the killer in that Terror Train remake I always forget was a thing. Leferrier is an actor turned stuntman, and the intensity he brings to Ghostface is a refreshing change of pace.
We love floppy Ghostface from the early movies that gets knocked down easily and gets right back up. And in this one, it was a little more like, what if he was a little more relentless, a little more driven, and just doesn't give a shit?
Gal Ghost faces off with the attacker in yet another inspired action sequence.
she's-
Damn,
how does-
they
how
really
is she
brought
not-
it this film. She manages to
How
arm
does she not
herself
die, bro?
with a gun from her bedroom, kicking off a game of cougar and mouse with Ghosty Rose.
Bro, I would have stayed in that. I would have stayed in that bathroom.
This
no
apartment
cap.
invasion took 4 days to
dead.
film, longer than any of the movie's
How is she
other
not
chase
dead, bro?
scenes. It was worth it for the action.
How
And
is she
this
not
moment
dead?
when Gal hangs up on the killer.
Can you hold, please?
Glad to see
That's
snarky
crazy.
Gal back, after she spent most of Scream 5 being
That's
sad about
crazy.
Dewey. Same. The rude phone etiquette earns her a couple of good
Oh,
stabs,
she's
and
dead.
though she hits them with one of her many books and forces them to do a Jill Roberts, a glass shard to the gut puts Ghostface back on top. A crescendo in the score
dead.
makes you think this could very well be the end of Gal
No
Weathers,
way.
but she survives long enough for Tara and Sam to arrive guns a-blazing.
You had one job. 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 You had had one job. You 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 had one job. She looks so calm even after, bro. She looks so calm even after getting stabbed like 5 times. But look at her face, bro. No terror. I would have been there like. No, I'm not rooting for the killer. I'm rooting for them,
End
bro.
of Gal Weathers,
she had
but
one
she
job.
survives long enough for Tara and Sam to arrive.
She missed
to
how many
break
shots, bro? She missed how many
end
shots?
Of Gal Weathers, but
I'm
she
rooting for
survives
her, bro.
long enough for Tara
He
and
ran
Sam
away
to
from
arrive
bullets, but that
guns
should not be a.
blazing.
That should not
Ghostface
be
disappears
a thing,
as
bro.
always, and dialogue confirms that Gal will avoid dancing in the darkness of death.
Got a weak pulse.
The survivors regroup in the building's lobby, where it's Danny's turn to make a suspicious entrance. They decide to set a trap back at the abandoned theater. They take the subway, but get separated at platform 96, a reference
Damn.
to the original Scream's release year. Mindy is left behind with prime suspect Ethan, and to make matters worse, this Halloween crowd is filled with way too many ghost faces for comfort,
no.
including one voiced by the Lonely Island's Akiva Schaffer.
She gotta get out of there, bro.
The subway is also paved with the ghosts
She
of
gotta get
horror's
out of there,
past.
bro.
We've got all the classics. There's
She gotta get out
Michael,
of there. She
Pinhead,
thought she was
Freddy,
shooting-
even Tara's fave, the
It's
Babadook. Other
Cam.
highlights include
What's his
Ziggy
Cam?
Stardust,
His
Grace
Cam.
from Radio Silence's Ready or
Yo,
Not,
she was
and
terrible
Mojo
at
Jojo,
her
a nod to
aim.
Roger L. Jackson's
Yeah,
other
yeah.
most famous voice
Mojo
role.
Jojo.
This rash of references continues the costume Easter eggs from earlier, where the frat party saw a guy in a Dan Flash's shirt. That's in honor of Detroit's own Tim Robinson,
She had
and his
one
sketch
job,
from
though.
I Think You Should Leave, since Robinson voiced Quinn's off-screen lover in her first scene.
Is that Paul?
Who the fuck is Paul? You also might have noticed Ethan's murder party outfit, as well as a Wednesday Addams in honor of Jenna Ortega's biggest
That's
role.
fire.
Scream 6 was filmed before Wednesday was released, and when the show became a huge hit, Radio Silence actually cut down the visual references.
Once it became a juggernaut, we were like, oh, this feels weird now.
Yeah, this is like self-congratulatory.
Big props to Avery Pluis once again for making sure these outfits felt authentic, aka a little shitty.
I've had a lot of moments with my team where I'm like,
It does
this
look real.
doesn't
This
look
looks like a real
costume
thing.
that a real person would make. It looks like a costume that a costumer would make.
The subway sequence was one of the first ideas Busick and
There are way
Vanderbilt
too
had
many
when returning
his
to write
can
this
and
New York set
projectiles out
sequel.
games.
But Montreal's
Dispatch
subway
shots that
system
travel
doesn't look
time,
anything
shot
like
just
New York,
target
so
him.
production had to build an entire
Oh.
station and 50-foot subway car from scratch.
Now
To
the
make the
subway
car
scene
look
looks
like it was
real, bro.
moving, they installed 70-foot light strips outside the windows
It looks
and
real.
programmed them to run a chase sequence. The end result was a completely practical subway that the cast and crew compared to being on a motion simulator. Eventually, Mindy runs
It looks
into the
real.
real killer. She's stabbed,
Oh,
but the sound of
no.
violence goes unnoticed on the busy train until
No.
Ethan spots her at the next stop. Fortunately, Mindy's
No.
got that plot armor ab routine, leaving the leftover alive to quip another day.
franchise.
The rest of the group gets to the theater, which was running a Jennifer Jolie retrospective.
Yo, how did she not die,
That
though?
woman was a shining light the world simply wasn't ready for. Danny won't be joining them inside the Promised Land, since Sam's still leery from her last evil ex. He's cool about being benched for the finale, though. Nice guy. Or is he?
Everybody's a suspect!
Inside, Sam sees Ghost Billy again, and he proves he ain't no
Hmm.
jughead by giving some decent fatherly advice.
You're smarter than this, Sam. Grab a weapon and clear this place yourself.
Might be a good idea in light of some new info from Detective Bailey.
They fired Kirby 2 months ago for being mentally unstable. She's no longer with the FBI.
She discovers their only exit is locked, so she rushes to find Tara and Chad, who have run off to get frisky
it might
like
be
the
Kirby.
horror movie teens they are. Their
Well, he's
concession
about to die.
confession of love leads to their first kiss.
He's about to
the
die.
smooching is cut short by the arrival of Ghostface.
Oh, she
Another
got hit
chase
first?
ensues, during which Chad just chucks a camera at the killer.
She got
Throwing
hit
shit at
first?
Ghostface is straight up a national pastime at this point. The heroes team up to make their
Ain't no
concession
way.
stand, but
You
the
gotta
tides
fight 'em,
turn
bro.
when a
It's
second
for-
slasher
Woo!
appears from the grassy knoll.
Oh,
the
there's
two
two of them.
Ghostfaces absolutely skewer
he's
Chad
dead.
Makes Martin, stabbing him at least 11 times together.
dead.
Tough luck, Tara.
He's
Your
eating it,
crush
though.
just became a pincushion.
He's eating
that
it, though.
synchronized knife wipe was pretty slick, though.
Damn,
The
that was
deadly
cold.
duo is scared off by
That was
Kirby,
cold.
who says she was in Dreamland after being knocked out off screen. Detective Bailey also arrives, prompting a police standoff that ends when Bailey's revealed as this movie's copycat killer.
You?
Yeah, of course, me.
This wolf
He
in
killed his
cop's
own kid?
clothing and his accomplices gives us the franchise's first trio of killers. The next
killed his
Ghostface
own
reveal
kid?
is Ethan, which is maybe a little obvious just by
Damn.
process of elimination. But
He's
hey,
not
Jack
Detroit
Champion
become
did a
human.
great job
Oh, no.
playing a nervous nice guy, and apparently had a great
Damn.
time on set.
It's so far the most fun I've had on a set. Sorry, James Cameron.
A little less obvious is the reveal of our third ghost face.
Mindy?
No, it's not Mindy. It's Quinn, who might as well be speaking directly to the
Yo,
audience.
I thought Quinn was. So, which one of them? How did that guy get thrown by a?
It's
by a
Quinn, who
ghost
might
face?
as well.
I know he didn't get thrown by her or the other dude.
He's speaking directly to the audience.
You didn't see that one coming, did you?
Yeah, because you died.
Yep, I gave her a kill count graphic and everything. I've got no way to justify it. I lied to you. Her supposed death felt too spoilery to give away, coming way earlier than Roman's fake out death in Scream 3. Their explanation on how they covered it up is a little unlikely to me.
I just made sure I was first on the scene so I could switch her body out with a fresh one.
But hey, at least we didn't see anyone check Quinn's pulse. Quinn reveals she's the one who started the rumors about Sam online, not because she believes them. No, this trio is simply out for revenge. Quinn and Ethan are both Bailey's kids, and their deceased third sibling was none other than Sam's ex.
You're Richie's family.
Yep, they're Richie's family!
That's
It's
crazy.
yet another way this movie echoes Scream 2, with the family of the
That's
previous
crazy.
film's killer coming for revenge.
Billy's mother.
Richie's family plans on pinning this new batch of murders on Sam, then killing her and making it look like she was murdered by an internet conspiracy theorist. You know, someone like Greg and Jason, who turns out didn't actually own this place. The stab exhibit was really curated by Richie. His dad Bailey just put the place under their names. An actual home video from Jack Quaid plays from the projector, spliced in with Richie's home movie version of Stab. Bailey may have the numbers advantage, but Sam melts his ego by shit-talking his son.
He was a man baby
Damn.
who made his girlfriend do all the killing.
I'm glad someone's given Amber the credit she deserves. They didn't even leave her mask at any crime scenes. Kirby arrives to even things out, but gets taken down by Ethan with Charlie's knife.
Recognize this?
Sam makes sure to get some payback before trying to escape with Tara on the theater's second floor. A gunshot makes Tara slip, and the fallout leaves her looking like Laurie Strode in Halloween
way she
Resurrection.
dies.
With danger coming
way she
from
dies.
above and below, Tara makes a callback to an earlier conversation.
You have to let me go.
Damn.
Sam finally decides
Bro, I
to
really
trust her
1v3,
sister
bro.
and drops her down with a helping
Should've
hand.
1v3,
Tara
I'm
takes a
saying,
stab
bro.
from Ethan, but returns the favor by giving him a mouthful
my
of
God.
steel. Yeesh, happy birthday to me,
I'm saying,
anybody?
bro,
It's
bro,
enough
that
to
Glock,
throw
bro.
Quinn off her game, which
That-
Sam exploits with pure ruthlessness.
That Glock,
Looks
bro.
like you're down another
My
brother.
Glock got a switch
Sam
on
then
it, bro.
adds Quinn to the kill count for Rio with a headshot.
Damn.
She doesn't have a bullet
So she got perfect aim that time, but the time when the dude was in there, she.
for
Come on,
Bailey,
man.
so they battle right over the banister. The fall knocks Bailey out, giving Sam a chance to go full ghost face when he awakens.
Hello, Detective Bailey.
He's lured backstage, where Sam ambushes him with her now signature flurry of stabs. She
Damn.
stops short of finishing the job, determined to fight off her killer instinct. But a side eye
Damn.
from Tara convinces her to follow through and end this Bailey with a wonderful knife.
31
oh my
times?
god, right in the side eye. Sam, you're fucking wild. Dude's gonna need a whole bunch of family gravestones. As Richie's home movie comes to a close, Tara and Sam reaffirm their sisterly bond. They're treated to one last scare in the form of Ethan, but he's stopped by an injured Kirby, who sends
my
him to
God.
meet his mocker with a TV to the head.
Yo, she didn't
Danny
die? She
arrives
got
with
stabbed like how many
reinforcements
times,
confirming
bro?
his status as boyfriend, not boy foe. It's a happy ending
She
all
got
around.
stabbed crazy
since Chad
times, bro.
also survived, getting wheeled out with that Dewey magic.
He got
the most
he
common
survived? That dude survived?
criticism I've seen of this
Ain't no way,
movie is
bro.
how many people
That boy got
survive.
pieced up, bro. Ain't no way he survived, bro. Come on, are you kidding me? How many times did he get stabbed out there? There's no way that boy survived all that, bruh. He literally got pieced up in there, bruh. You kidding me?
Went off to get frisky like the horror movie team at the killer concession stand. Absolutely
That boy got
skewered
pieced
Chad
up. How did he
Bates
survive
Martin,
that?
stabbing him at
Yo, it has
least
to go, hey.
11 times together.
But that boy, he was eating it though. I'm not gonna lie. Maybe he did survive it. Maybe, just maybe. Hey, see you. Hey, when you're back from vacation, man. Appreciate you so much being in the stream, man. Take care of yourself.
It's a valid criticism, but I'm with reinforcements confirming his status as boyfriend, not boy foe. It's a happy ending all around, since Chad also survived, getting wheeled out with that Dewey magic. The most common criticism I've seen of this movie is how many people survive. It's a valid criticism, but I don't personally mind most of it. Chad especially. I love Mason Gooding's
How did he
performance
survive, bro?
and
He
the
got
core four
pieced
as a
up.
whole. I want to see
He
them
was
continue
eating it,
on.
though.
Like I said in the
That boy
intro,
was eating
Scream's
them.
always
I'm
been
not gonna
about the surviving protagonists, and I'm happy for all of these characters to survive. I mean, I would have been fine with Gale dying, but maybe executive producer Courtney Cox wasn't having that. Who knows? As for Chad, Radio Silence did have a cut with a more survivable attack, but ultimately they decided to prioritize the emotional impact of the scene. Besides, people have survived real-life attacks just as brutal.
Look no further than the Slenderman incident.
Sam briefly regards the ghost face of her father, but abandons it to join her sister. They walk out to Still Alive, a song written by Demi Lovato for the film. The music video features our friend Spencer from Ice 9 Kills and his lovely partner in Carnage, Nadia. As for Scream 6, the movie ends with a post-credits jab at post-credit scenes.
Not every movie needs a post-credit scene.
How many characters got sliced up and served to the count like a New York pizza? Let's find out and get to the numbers. Except, shit, the floor's under construction. Oh, hey, thanks, disembodied hands.
That's fire.
Yeah, okay. This'll do just fine.
Hey, yo, bro. Get off the camera, bro.
You made it!
You should watch the Slenderman thing. Which one?
13 people died in Scream 6, the most actual kills in the franchise if you exclude the fictional characters from Scream 4. The victims consisted of 10 men and 3 women, giving us this New York pizza pie. This exact count and gender breakdown has only been seen once before on this show, in Tales from the Hood 2. With the franchise's new longest runtime of 123 minutes, that left us with a kill on average every 9.46 minutes. I'll give the Golden Chainsaw for coolest kill to Annika. The whole ladder sequence is an all-timer for the franchise. And it's topped off with gnarly gore when she hits that dumpster. Dual Machete for Lama's kill will go to Brooks, was it?
Bro,
An off-screen murder.
Bro, that dude must
Dual
be
Machete
like
for Lama's kill will
damn
go
near
to
200, bro. How did he get thrown
an off-screen murder of a
book,
nothing
bro?
character that Gale didn't even seem to care too much about.
I'm
And that's
saying,
it. Scream 6 came out in 2023 and had the biggest opening weekend of the
Oh.
franchise. Next week, we're starting another franchise with Hostel. Until then, I'm James A. Janice. This has been the Kill Count. Thanks a lot for watching the Scream 6 Kill Count. Real fast, shout out to Kai
That was a good video, man. Kai.
from
Kai
Disneyland, and thank you, Tyler and Olivia. Thanks to you two, we got to ride the Guardians of the Galaxy ride literally 5 times while we were there. That ride
might have got tackled. Nah, he got thrown, bro. Ain't nobody there that could have tackled. I mean, maybe after getting stabbed multiple times. So what's the thing you wanted me to see? Slenderman? Terrence Crawford spars Mama Crawford. Now she got hands. She got hands. This was the video that made me want to react to that, actually. I sent this video, I'm like, I want to watch that too. But I don't want to watch him watch it. I want y'all to watch. Search it like Slenderman Killers or something. Slenderman Kills. Oh, he said it wasn't Slenderman. I think it was Sledgehammer. We can just watch the video again. Oh, gotta end the recording.